This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the night off. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this evening, the 6-month anniversary of one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history. Relatives, friends, and survivors are remembering the lives lost in the Orlando massacre. At 2:02 a.m. on June 12th, Omar Mateen walked into the Pulse nightclub and started shooting. 49 people were killed, 53 others were injured. Mateen was shot and killed by police. Today, at exactly 2:02, a crowd gathered for a moment of silence at the club. Many wore black, others wore rainbow-colored Orlando United t-shirts and ball caps. And one of the first victims identified in the Pulse nightclub shooting was from right here on the Suncoast. And today, those close to Eddie Sotomayor are reflecting on that day with the local law enforcement who were sent to Orlando to help. Here's ABC7's Adam Cellini with that story. Adam.
Yeah, well, Haley, one of the main messages from those connected in one way or another to this shooting is gratitude for the positive response that came almost instantly following this tragedy.
This is the very difficult day.
For Al Ferguson, the empty desk where Eddie Sotomayor spent 3 years organizing cruises was a little harder to pass by on Monday.
I'm not as raw as I was 6 months ago, but it has come back in a very stark way.
6 months ago, Ferguson and a friend drove to Orlando in search of Sotomayor, who posted a video from the Pulse nightclub just moments before the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history.
Sort of like a freight train hit you, everything sort of went numb and it was chaotic.
In the middle of that chaos were 7 victim advocates from the Suncoast, activated for the first time as part of the Florida Crisis Response Team.
It was life-changing, not just for the individuals, but also for us.
2 from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office helped college students there handle the emotions.
There was students who forgave the shooter, and there were some who were very angry. There were some who were angry because one particular part of the community was identified and not the other part of the community.
Back home, the spirit of Top Hat Eddie lives on, both in the work he left behind and the outpouring of support and gifts the company has received on his behalf.
There's not a day that goes by here where you come in and you don't feel that he's missing.
Monday, the team at Legendary Journeys held a meeting on how to deal with the constant reminders, and they came to one conclusion.
We would much rather remember than ignore it or forget it, because it keeps the best part of Eddie Sotomayor right in front of us.
And filmmakers in St. Pete will soon be making Eddie Sotomayor the subject of a documentary called One of 49, A Revolution of Love. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. Sarasota Senator Greg Stubbe is sponsoring a controversial new bill that eases restrictions on guns. The bill calls for nearly 1.6 million Floridians with concealed carry permits to be allowed to openly carry handguns. It would also allow them to be armed at legislative meetings, local government meetings, elementary and secondary schools, airport terminals, and college and university campuses. License holders would still be prohibited from carrying weapons at certain locations, including police stations, jails, courtrooms, polling places, and most bars. Some feel that the bill would add to safety, while others worry it could lead to more shootings.
I believe everybody has a right to self-defense no matter where they're at, whether it's a certain government meeting or a school or just out on the street.
There's no evidence to even suggest that the more guns we put in these areas is going to reduce gun violence or violence in itself. There's absolutely none.
The bill still has to go through committees before the 2017 Florida legislative session in March. A man is arrested in Manatee County after detectives say he pretended to be a dentist and extracted 10 teeth without anesthetic. Back in September, a couple told detectives that Robert Rylander extracted a woman's tooth and left a tooth fragment that caused medical problems. Records show Rylander was licensed as a dental technician in South Carolina, but does not have a current dentistry license in Florida. He was arrested last week after an undercover detective arranged to meet him for some dental work. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is releasing video of a car chase that resulted in 4 arrests. Sheriff's deputies say early Friday morning they got a tip that a group of teens were trying to open car doors in San Lino Circle in Venice. Deputies quickly spotted their truck, which they say was stolen out of St. Pete. With the help of the Sheriff's Office Air 1 helicopter, deputies followed the truck on I-75 until the driver lost control and hit a barrier in the median. Deputies say 18-year-old Darius Smith admitted that he and 3 teens traveled from Pinellas County to commit the burglaries in Venice. All 4 were arrested and charged with grand theft auto. A parade of boats on Sarasota Bay not only helped spread some holiday cheer, it also raised a lot of money for a local charity. More than 20 boats covered in lights and decorations took part in the 31st annual Sarasota Holiday Boat Parade of Lights on Saturday night. Organizers say the event raised around $10,000 for Suncoast Charities for Children. The boats were also judged. This year's first place goes to Thunderstruck, captained by John Watchin. So congratulations to them and to everyone for raising all of that money. Let's head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast.
Thunderstruck, maybe a reference to AC/DC song right there. I'll tell you what, we had some nice weather also for the Bradenton and also Palmetto boat parade, which took place on the Manatee River on Saturday night. Weather cooperated for the most part. We had some fog around this morning. That wasn't cooperating for commuters this morning. In fact, caused some delays along the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. We have more fog out there too, or some low clouds, if you will, and it looks like a pretty good chance of that moving onshore and fog developing late tonight, and some of that could be rather thick in some areas. You can see some heavier showers just to the east of Fort Myers, moving off to the northeast toward Lake Okeechobee, and currently the sun just getting ready to set there, and 74 degrees. The dew point temperature is way up at 69, and as the temperature and dew point get closer to one another and the winds remain light is when you have a good chance for fog to form. Temperatures currently into the mid 70s to low 80s across the area and across the state. 81 degrees in Orlando now. Right near the water, it's a little bit cooler because that water temperature is now cooled to 69 degrees, but inland areas, upper 70s, Arcadia, Mayaca City, and also Northport and Punta Gorda. We'll have more in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. A historic day at Tampa International Airport. The first commercial flight in more than 50 years took off to Havana. The Southwest flight took off at 6:15 this morning with 175 passengers. Starting today, Southwest is offering daily flights to and from Havana. With Fidel Castro now passed away, many passengers say they hope to continue to see Cuba strengthen ties with America.
So we'll have one daily flight between Tampa and Havana. We'll see how that does, and if there's some opportunities in the future, we'll definitely take that into consideration to see if there's different places that we can serve that our customers want to go.
Round-trip flights to Havana are being offered for around $150. The Sarasota Bradenton International Airport is making it easier for passengers to move through security. They can now enroll in the TSA PreCheck expedited screening program at the airport now through Friday. You can fill out an application online and set up an appointment to finalize the process. The $85 fee is good for 5 years. And remember, this is not always. You sometimes have to go to Tampa most of the time or the Port of Manatee. So if you want to take advantage of this, this is a good time to do so. Passengers who pre-check can board planes without taking off their shoes, removing liquids and electronics from their bags, and usually you can even go through a faster line, so it's a triple good idea there. Well, ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now, and we have some breaking news. We only broke one record on Wall Street today, Richard.
Haley, you're absolutely right. All of last week we set records pretty much every day for all 3 indices that we follow, and I'm sorry to say today there was only one. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished with a record high for the 15th time since Election Day, while the NASDAQ and the S&P, well, they had a 6-day winning streak stop. The top-to-bottom range today was about 75 points, most of that on the upside. And when we closed, the Dow, yes, the Dow, was in up territory. Let's take a look at the numbers, and there you see an up arrow, 0.2%. The Dow is up almost 40 points. Look at that, 204 points shy of 20,000. 19,796.43 on volume of 694 million shares. The NASDAQ, the biggest loser of the day, down 0.6%, 32 points, closing at 5,412.54. That on volume of 1,509 million shares. The S&P barely lower, but it was lower by 2.5 points, 0.1%, closing at 2,256.96. Well, how about a feel-good business story? Nothing to do with mergers, nothing to do with people losing their jobs or anything like it. American Express today announced that it is changing its policy on paid parental leave. They are now going to permit up to 20 weeks of paid parental leave for both mothers and fathers, as well as $35,000 toward adoption if American Express employees want to go that route. This is the first time a company of this size has ever done anything like this. Prior to now, it's been 6 weeks. Now it is 20 weeks. This does take effect on January 1, and to qualify, an American Express employee only has to be in the company's employ, Haley, for 1 year.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Absolutely.
And Richard, some expectations for tomorrow.
Well, finally, the Fed meeting is here. The Fed meets tomorrow and Wednesday, 2 o'clock Wednesday. We're finally, I think, going to see a rate increase of 1/4%. We've been waiting all year.
All right, we look forward to that. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
And still to come on your Suncoast News, whiteout conditions and icy roads, how the heavy snowfall is still affecting travelers out on the roadways and in the air in some parts of the country. Of course, not here. ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with our weather forecast, which includes no snow whatsoever. And later in Health Smart, goodbye to hair loss. A device that could prevent hair loss in breast cancer patients is straight ahead.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a Taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbythebay.org.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Totoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Kick off the season and find a unique holiday gift at the St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 3rd annual St. Petersburg Holiday of the Arts. Saturday and Sunday, December 17 and 18th at South Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your sense of discovery and appreciation of the beautiful at the St. Pete Holiday of the Arts. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Millions hit the road this morning with extreme weather alerts across 20 states from California to New York. Tonight, the heavy snow and ice have moved out of the East Coast, but the Midwest is already bracing for the next hit from Mother Nature, a new Arctic blast. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with more on these wintry conditions.
Cars spinning, colliding, and rolling off the roadway in northeastern Pennsylvania, and authorities blaming this messy morning commute on Mother Nature. In Maine, a fatal crash on a snowy roadway now under investigation. Police so far saying a man was killed and a woman and 3 children hurt. In Detroit, shovels, snow blowers, and even four-wheelers out all day, clearing the sidewalks and streets from more than 10 inches of snow. The conditions so treacherous, this Delta flight trying to land skidded off the runway this weekend. Chicago also digging out from some 8 inches of snow.
The snow is nice for about a month, and then after that, not so much.
It's beautiful, actually. It's beautiful. I've never seen it like this in December in a while.
All that snow pretty to look at, but a huge inconvenience for travelers, at one point causing thousands of flight delays. Parts of New York also slammed with more than 3 feet of snow this weekend, and in Ohio, up to 30 inches. So much snow falling at times. Take a look at this highway. You can't see anything. Whiteout conditions and icy roads wreaking havoc across the country all weekend.
And this week, this is what millions have to look forward to. Plunging temperatures with wind chills well below zero from Minneapolis to Chicago and Boston. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Looking pretty bad.
Yeah,
we're feeling pretty lucky
Pretty
here.
bad over the weekend, it was, and the good news is that all the snow, for the most part, has moved off to the northeast. We have some graphics to show you here. Here's a look at that snow into Maine, also stretching off to eastern portions of Canada right now. Lake effect snows still occurring in some areas, but the heavy snow is over. There are 3 airports reporting some delays right now: Boston, LaGuardia, and in New Jersey. That's it. And elsewhere, things have calmed down there considerably. Now just the cold air over in the northern tier of states there as the Arctic Express or the polar vortex starts to move down. And not all the way down here, though. Things are fairly quiet. I mentioned not many watches out there or warnings at this time, just a wind chill advisory over the northern plain states in the Dakotas as well as into Montana. Elsewhere, all the winter warnings and advisories have since expired. Well, for us, our not winter yet. We're still in the fall, but looking pretty good here on the Van Wezel webcam. You can see calm conditions out there on the waters, and with the calm conditions and relatively light winds, we're going to see the possibility of some fog forming tonight, as we did this morning. We had some showers around, as we did yesterday, some spotty showers making their way off to the east, a little weak disturbance there, and some showers off into the Gulf of Mexico, but no real threat of any significant rainfall here this evening. We will see just a few clouds around, temperatures staying warm, upper 60s by 11 o'clock tonight, and there will be some fog forming, I think, as early as 11 o'clock, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, and it will stick around in places. 74 right now. We have mostly fair skies and west winds at 5. The pressure 30.07 inches, which is fairly high. And as temperatures go, fairly high right now in Orlando. It's 81 degrees, 77 in Miami, 79 in Key West. And temperatures across the area, right on the water, it's in the low 70s. Venice now at 76, 79 in Arcadia, 77 in Sebring, and a couple degrees warmer in Punta Gorda and Mayaca City. Braden into the mid to upper 70s. The forecast tomorrow calls for that fog to burn off, and then we'll see temperatures warm above average again. Our average high, 74 degrees, so well above that, approaching 80 in some spots. Beaches will be a little bit cooler because of the fact that we will see some potential for some west winds developing there. With the water temperature at 69, it will keep things a bit cooler. There is a frontal boundary. You can see it making its way through Louisiana right now. This front will bring in some slightly cooler temperatures. It's going to move through relatively unnoticed in terms of rainfall, maybe a spotty shower here and there, but all in all, just some slightly cooler temperatures for a short period of time. And even the temperatures that move in with this front will still be above average, it appears, on into Wednesday and Thursday. You can see the front kind of falling apart by Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Could bring some showers over North Florida, and then by the time it reaches us, things quiet down. Well, it's 32 in Buffalo right now, 31 in Columbus, Ohio, 30 in Detroit, but 2 in Bismarck. That's the leading edge of that Arctic Express, which will spill mainly off to the east. 54 now in Dallas and 54 in Albuquerque. Atlanta now at 62 degrees. And the forecast for boaters, some fog around in the morning could be a problem. Winds out of the northwest, very light, and seas running 1 to 2 feet, basically less than 2 feet, with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now at 69 degrees. Beaches will see a high right around 76. Inland away from the water, right around 80 degrees. High tide upcoming. The next one at 10:16 for Sarasota Bay. And sunset should be a nice one just a few minutes from now, 5:38. Sunrise will be at 7:12. Well, fog developing late. Could see some advisories with that. Well, partly cloudy skies and 65 for a low. That's well above the average. And then morning fog around, partly cloudy skies. After that, 80 for your high. And northeast winds turn to the west at 5. The extended forecast calling for there's a slightly cooler temperatures on Thursday and Friday right around average. And then back above it by the weekend with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch in Manatee County. US 41 is blocked at Martin Luther King Avenue due to an accident, so be careful in that area. In health news tonight, the better a man's cardiorespiratory fitness, the less likely he is to die from cancer. That's according to a long-term study out of Denmark. Cardiorespiratory fitness is a measurement of how well the body uses oxygen during intense exercise. Researchers found that as men's VO2 max scores went up, there was a 17% lower risk of cancer death and 11% lower risk of death from any cause. They say it's not just good enough to be physically active, you actually have to be fit. This may be because extra weight increases estrogen and insulin resistance, which have both been tied to an increased risk of cancer. A device that cools the scalp may prevent hair loss for people undergoing chemotherapy. This technology lowers the temperature of the scalp, which reduces blood flow to hair follicles. It's been shown in other studies to reduce hair loss in cancer patients undergoing chemo. In this latest study of breast cancer patients at 7 U.S. cancer centers, more than 50% of patients in the scalp cooling group retained their hair, compared with none of the patients in the non-cooling group. The device maker is now seeking clearance from the Food and Drug Administration to market this device. Because of their grueling workouts, athletes may be more predisposed to catching a cold or other illness. That's according to a report by the University of Pretoria in South Africa. Routine, moderate exercise can help protect people against colds and other upper respiratory infections, because exercise can boost the production of immune cells that attack bacteria and viruses. But overdoing it can have the opposite effect. With intense long-term exercise, the body may produce more stress hormones, wreaking havoc on the immune system. Coming up next, a beach staircase collapse. What environmental experts say could be behind this sinkhole. Plus, the charitable goal one boy has for the holidays and how he plans to reach it. Those stories when we come back.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com. So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are. Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Christmas Tradition by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. You'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
It's not much of a beach day for a community in Southern California. A beach entrance in Pacifica is closed after a large sinkhole collapsed a staircase leading down to the beach. The hole opened yesterday morning. The timing of the sinkhole coincides with some of the biggest waves of the year, known as king tides. Look at that sinkhole right there. Officials think the waves could have played a part in the erosion of this walkway. Heavy rains and landslides from El Nino have also hit the coast hard and caused erosion on cliffs. Now to a significant discovery in China. The tail section of an almost 100 million-year-old dinosaur was found encased in a piece of amber. It weighs 6.5 grams and is the size of a beach pebble. Experts say the tail section belonged to a Coelurosauриan, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but a bird-like dinosaur that was roughly the size of a chicken. They hope the discovery will give them clues as to what the extinct creature looked like. They have nicknamed this fossil Eva. It was a chilly but successful rescue mission for a moose that got stuck in an icy river in Canada. It's not known how the moose got stuck, but rescuers had to use axes to break the ice and get him out. They say the moose first appeared agitated by the firefighters, of course, probably a little cold, but then it calmed down and simply watched them work. Firefighters posted this video of the rescue on Facebook. One little boy has a big Christmas wish this year, but it's not for toys or video games or anything like that. Cameron Dax wants to collect 10,000 canned goods to give out to families in need. The 12-year-old is holding his own food drive that he operates with the help of his parents. The drive started as a school project 7 years ago, and since then, Cameron has opened 13 drop-off locations for people to donate. But in his free time, he still likes to go door to door to collect donations.
If people could donate, that'd be really absolutely fantastic, because it makes me really good inside that people are getting as much food as I am and makes people happy.
Last year, Cameron collected more than 6,000 non-perishable items, but for this year, he set up a GoFundMe account. Cameron hopes to reach 10,000 by this Thursday. Still to come on your Suncoast News, backlash over a sign in front of a salon. Why the owner of a Sarasota business says he was forced to remove it and what he's doing in response to that order. That's straight ahead.
You've seen me roll for 100 G's, but I got a little more than dough riding on this one. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck, be a lady tonight.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
the official salon of ABC7.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.